When I was called as bishop, I was working into the ownership of this bee operation. It's a big, we employ 23 people. It's the largest bee operation in the Northwest, and it's a lot of work. So, and this just highlights my dedication to what I felt my responsibilities were with the church. There were often times where I would go from a high council meeting that went late into the night, maybe 9:30 or 10. I'd go out to my bee truck that has a sleeper on it, change out of my suit and tie, and go and move bees all night long, come home at 3 or 4 in the morning. And then I felt the responsibility to wake up at 7 and be either at work or be with my kids. And that was not healthy. But I felt it was the call, right? It was I'm showing that I'm dedicated. I'm being dedicated to the work of God. I would run from meeting to meeting, changing clothes from my work clothes to my suit. Often. Maybe as we get into my service as bishop and the calling of a new stake president, there would be another example of how that dedication played into it. But I think and even when I was called as bishop, talking with the stake president, a wonderful man that I just love, I said, my only apprehension is I have a lot on my plate right now. I mean, we were basically 6 months from taking over full ownership of the operation. I was very busy, feeling very overwhelmed, and then being called to be the bishop. I said, my apprehension is, I don't know if this is the right time for me, because I am so busy. And his response was, and I accepted it wholeheartedly, put your shoulder to the wheel, right? I mean, his response was, it's God's time. He wants you there. And my response was, okay, I'll be there. So that's my approach to my service as a bishop, was to be there, wholeheartedly. I mean, of course, we always hear, and maybe I did it wrong. I can admit that I probably applied this incorrectly, but there is the encouragement, continue to date your wife. Your family is the most important thing. You need to prioritize them, even though you're the bishop. They are the priority. I think that's true, but however, in practice, how do you do that? I mean, how do you really? How do you really do that?
It's not humanly possible. I mean, I was coming to church for a very short time and having made my own changes out of my stressful job and trying to embrace health and well-being and for mental health. And I remember asking you, just because I could observe, and out of curiosity, but compassion as well, how do you guys do this all? And I ended up coming to a bishop's meeting, whatever you guys called them, but my intention was to bring to them some wellness tips. How do I do this without saying what I think you all are doing is insane, it's unhealthy for you, it's unhealthy for your family. But really, you have got to figure out that your mental health, your well-being is important. All these men, they're not educated about how to be a counselor. They're being therapists. The things that they're experiencing secondhand trauma. I mean, that was evident to me. Wow. And then here, he's still clearly carrying so much guilt and the weight of maybe I did it wrong, and all of these things are so heavy and I hate to use the word unfair because there's really nothing about life that's fair. But it kills me. It hurts to see, and it makes me angry that it's just going on uncontained, encouraged. It just continues on.
Yeah. But at the time, it was
because you'll be blessed.
This is your calling, right?
You'll be rewarded.
Put your shoulder to the wheel, press along, right? I mean, we all have work. Let no one shirk. Put your shoulder to the wheel. And I felt like it was my purpose. I certainly found purpose in it. I'm not saying it was not. It was done with an open heart and not begrudgingly at all. It's only in the reflection of that time period that I see where it really damaged me.
How so?
Well, I mean, Elizabeth mentioned this kind of idea of, secondhand kind of trauma with some of the issues that where I was needed to help with members of the ward. It's a matter of psychological health, not taking time for myself and my own well-being, not taking time to enjoy the period of life with my family in the way that in retrospect I wish I would have done. I struggled to maintain healthy boundaries during that period of time, because I felt like it was the work and will of God that I do what I was doing for the benefit of my brothers and sisters who needed me to be there with my own particular talents and abilities to serve them. So, yeah, it was it was both, right? I mean, I recognize the harmful things much easier in retrospect. I didn't really recognize that in the moment, only feeling like something or many things even were not quite right. But it's like you're an act on the stage trying to juggle, and you're going to keep trying, even though you're quite certain that one of these balls will fall. But you just keep trying, right? God will help you find a way. So I found, in the moment, I found joy in that moving from thing to thing to thing. I found energy in feeling that, and feeling needed, and in feeling like I did a good job, right? That I was helping people. And I can still find joy in that because I really do feel like I helped a lot of people. So,
but at what cost?
At what cost, right? Well, depends on who you talk to, I guess, right?